We have seen lots of response from our last episode. I think this is our third episode now. We have episode 1, 2, and 3, and it's been amazing so far. It's been amazing. I want to really thank you guys for your follow up. I really thank you. I would not be making videos if you guys were not viewing. So I don't want to waste your time today. I'll make it very brief. Looking at your screen, you would find a very strange mark. It might be strange because I've not made the meaning known to you. It might just be looking very strange, and that's normal. Okay, this is a logo mark I made for King's Chef Kitchen. Right. When I was told to do this logo, I thought of a lot of things. How best I could interpret what they do. I was trying to think how best I could interpret. So I made some sketches. I googled, of course. Like, if you're a designer, this has to be your Google. Google should be your best friend. Google should be your best friend because you find lots of inspiration there. Also, Behance should be your best friend, and Dribble too. You can get inspirations from them. You can search them out. I know some persons would have already known that these sites can give inspiration. So I went to Google and I was trying to get, what do I get from this? So it's King's Chef Kitchen again. King's Chef Kitchen. I think I should look for this slide where we have the full name. Okay. Let's look at the slide where we have the full name. Okay, and here you go. Okay, we'll start from this, and this is King's Chef Kitchen. So dealing with food, creating brand identities for food is quite a different journey. And as a designer, you have to think very well. So I thought of already I knew the colors to use. These colors, they are popular food colors, and I didn't want to deviate. Because sometimes you might say, okay, let me do something unique, but I didn't want to deviate. So what I did, I knew I was going to use red because red is a very strong color. And what you have to learn about the color red is that it draws attention. It draws lots of attention. Color red draws lots of attention. So we have yellow is the secondary color, but red is the primary color here. So from our last video, you should already know what is primary and secondary color, right? The primary color of a brand is the color that is likely to be used the most. The color that is likely to be used the most. It can be 2 colors, it can be 1, but in this case it is just 1. We have the red color, and the yellow is the secondary color. All right. And I don't like counting white. Some persons might count white, but I don't like counting white because every brand on earth would likely use white. All right, you would likely use white for me for a while, including your text to your logo, or including text to your logo, maybe the brand name just beneath the mark or something. You would likely use white, so white and black. So I don't like calling them colors. All right, so just since I'm calling colors, I don't call black and white. So just that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so this is a very strong mark. All right, so I thought of many things, and I wanted, okay, what I really thought of when I heard of this brand, I thought of Burger King. Burger King. If you've seen their logo, Burger King, many of you have seen their logo. Don't to be distracted, I would have shown you their logo. So what I just thought of was Burger King, and their color is mostly red yellow, so I wanted to just use these colors. And I said, okay, what do I do? And some clients you would work with, like I said the last time, for you have to make clients connect with their logo. If clients are able to connect with the logo, then I think that is key for me. If clients are able to connect with them, then their consumers should be able to connect with the logo, and that is why we make conceptual logos. If you don't know what I mean by conceptual logos, so you have to just make it connect, make your logo connect with your client, make it connect. And one of the way is interpreting, is embedding their color, embedding their values into the logo, and sometimes it might be what they do. But I made it clear to you that it is not compulsory for you to embed what they do inside the logo, but sometimes you might just want to do it, but it is not something that is necessary. A logo does not have to show what the client does. Does not have to show what the client does. There are many logos like that, many standard logos like that. I can give you example, but not wasting your time. We've got this mark here, so I thought of many things. How do I smartly do this? And in this side of the world, if you are not in Africa, you might get away with this. You might just get away with it. Okay, I don't do something that shows what the brand does. You might get away with it, but in this part of the world, it is very difficult to get away with it. It's quite difficult. So we just have to, and I think it's nice to. I think no one would reject something that is brilliantly done. No one would reject it. And it just makes them fall in love with it. Not only the clients, just their consumer, they just fall in love with the brand. So that's why you have to execute it well. And it's very hard to see designers that embed the values and maybe what they do inside logos, what the client does inside the logo. It's very difficult to see designers that do that. But one of the things I'll be doing in this channel, like what I told you to do, so you have to subscribe. There are more contents coming, more content. So one of the things I'll be doing, I'll show you how I do this from episode 1 till now. All the logos you've seen, there are deep concept behind them. So you just have to stay glued to this channel. And one of the ways is to subscribe, like the videos, and share them. All right, share them. You have to share them to other designers. Okay. So what I thought of, okay, what's the best thing that could represent a restaurant? What's the best thing that could represent a restaurant? Okay, the popular thing that would represent, and a disclaimer is that you don't use something that people will not understand. Sometimes some persons want to be unique. I understand you want to be unique, but in your uniqueness, use something that people would be able to relate with. All right. So I use a spoon, a knife, and a fork. All right. So these three, they are things that you cannot get away with when you're talking about a restaurant. So basically, this is what you do. If you're trying to derive a concept, after I already showing you how to get concept, trying to get a concept, if you get you should know what the brand does already. You should know what the brand does, and you should be able to call out words. You should call out words that are associated with what the brand does. So when listing words, you can just mention, okay, food. When it has to do with a restaurant, all right, you can just say food. Food. You can mention lots of things. You can say plate. You can say, okay, like the one I mentioned, the spoon, knife, and fork. You can mention lots of them. Just mention things that has to do. This is my own process, all right. This is my own process. So you can mention things that has to do with the brand. Then, out of the things you've mentioned, you can start breaking it down. Choose the one that would likely be more simple. Which one can you break down to be more simple? Like you can see the fork. It is not a literal or maybe a picture of a of a knife, picture of this. I just thought of, could I break this down? I mentioned lots of things. I had a lot of things in my mind, a lot of items that are associated with a restaurant. All right, many items are associated with a restaurant. Some persons might just have a chef hat. All right, when it comes to King's Chef, but I didn't do that. So when it comes to King's, okay, when it comes to a king, things associated with a king, you have a crown. So most times you just list things, list as many you can list. I believe I will do a separate video on this maybe some other time, but I'll just give you some tips. All right, so list the things you can list: the crown and those. So I listed them, and these 3 stood out to me. These 4, the crown. I said, okay, I can have a crown. So I can have a crown. A crown has 3 points. So I thought of, okay, let me just pull out these points. Let me just bring out a spoon from one like that, and I put the fork in the middle because it had some white space in between the lines in the fork. There are some white space, so I say, okay, this is the I should just, let me make this the middleman. All right, let me make this the middleman. So I put the knife at the right, I put the fork at the left. So I put the spoon at the left. All right, so I put the fork at the middle because it was looking a bit different, so that it will be balanced. All right. So, and one thing that is very important for logos, one thing is not even deriving logos that from a concept, or that has deep concepts. All right. The major thing about logos is that you should be able to I have different screens. I'm going to be showing you the screens. Don't be bored. I'm going to be showing you the screens. Don't worry. So you should be able to balance your logo. The first thing you should do is create a balance. The logo has to be symmetric. That is the basic thing to do. Even if it does not show what your client is doing, all right? It has to be symmetric. That one is non-negotiable. All right? So it has to be symmetric. As you can see, my logo is properly lined. So I put a semi-square. I just put it, and the borders. What I mean by semi-square, the borders, the edges are rounded. So this is it. It is very symmetric. So one time I'll tell you why logo needs to be symmetric. Because you can see people find a very good concept, but it is not symmetric. Symmetric does not mean you just put everything in the middle like this. Symmetric mean it should be properly aligned. It should be balanced. Permit me to use the word balanced. It should be. You can see it will make sense if this King's Chef can carry the crown. It will make sense. Just relate it to real life. If you want to carry something, or some persons are trying to carry something, they just have to hold it properly, maybe at the middle or somewhere, so it is balanced, so they can carry it properly. But some persons, they do not do their logo like that. And one thing is that the logo would be having problems when it is. You can see the stand alone, the mark alone at the left side. You can see it can stand alone because it's symmetric. I was talking about putting the fork at the middle. If I put the fork at the side, it will be rather strange because the fork is quite different. So I put it at the middle to still create that balance. I don't know if you get it, to still create that balance. So you have to, balance is the first thing you should consider. You should already know symmetry. Make sure your sides are properly measured. All right, you're right. The crown from the border, the spoon from the white border, the knife from the white border, is it equal? Those things, they are symmetry. All right. So this is the standalone mark. Okay, I used green here. I was trying to. My client said I should use 2 colors. So here I use green, and I'm not sure you'll be able to remember. You should have any brand in mind that uses these 2 colors. Like I said, you have to be unique. All right. After using the red, I wanted to use the famous red. So I tried something different, and this is the color. So I was to submit these 2 to them to pick. All right. So we have our crown here. Very strong mark. This mark is very strong. I tell you, this mark is super strong, as in super strong. You can see it bold, very symmetric, very balanced. And most times I've told you why I use one color. I told you use one color. It should be very modern. Modern logos work when they are on one color. All right. Major not bringing a very realistic crown, putting it here. It means it's not modern and it's not flexible. All right. So we have other ones. I just want to show you the different slides we worked with. So this is a mock-up. Mock-ups are very important. Especially when used within context. What do I mean by within context? If you are doing a logo for a restaurant, they might likely want to have a t-shirt. So you just do a t-shirt for them, just use the color. It might not be the design they want to actually, just do something so they can see their logo on top. You can see this logo. While I was talking about symmetry, that time I was talking about symmetry. It's because this logo they are going to put on different surfaces. You can see even at the middle, this logo being at the middle is still making sense because it is properly aligned. If it's at the right side of the shirt, maybe like an emblem at the right side, not at the center of the shirt, maybe at the right side, you would still see that it is balanced. That's what I mean. And you have the crown again, green background, and you have a takeaway plate. Like I said, doing things within context. You should not do something that is not within context. The restaurant will likely have a takeaway. So I just did something with the pattern, and they will see how important the pattern is for them. I mentioned pattern. Pattern can help brands, and if you are very conversant with the Burberry or the Gucci brand, you should have seen their patterns. You just see maybe Louis Vuitton too. Louis Vuitton, you would always see their pattern. When you just see their pattern, just know this is them, or Burberry or Louis Vuitton or Gucci. Does Gucci have a pattern? Gucci, I think their pattern maybe is like a color or something, but patterns help the brand, not just the logo. Patterns. So when you see the pattern, even if you've not seen the logo, you know this is the brand. All right, this is the brand. Like I said, Gucci and the rest. Not Gucci. Louis Vuitton. So we also have the pattern at the back for the other color. I also have a mock-up. This might just be their signpost. Maybe their restaurant is by the road and they want to have a signpost. So I made a sample for them. Just something very simple, and you can see that it worked well. These are things you should do for your client, right? This is the one on green. Like I told you, they have to pick. This is the one on green still. Then this is amazing. Okay, I thought, okay, these people they will have you don't only do mock-up of items, you can do mock-up of their space, of their interior. All right, the restaurant will likely have an interior if it's not an online if not a physical, if they don't have a physical venue, right? Except they don't have a physical venue, okay? But these persons, they have a physical venue, so I had to do something, a mock-up, or maybe a frame by the wall, and you can see the logo neatly used. One thing you should notice about this logo is that it's very flexible. What do I mean? You've seen only the crown worked. Bringing the logo inside the border, it worked. Putting the name, it worked also. So this logo is very flexible. So there are some places I can't use the old mark like this. I just have to put the crown. That's what I mean about flexibility. So when you are making logos, you have to be creative to that point that your logo should be able to you should be able to break your logo down. All right, when you want to apply it to different surfaces, it might not be effective on some, so sometimes you just have to break it down. All right, so this is the restaurant. You can see it working in silhouette state, just white background, the whole logo. You can see it working with red. And the last one I've been doing, I'm using PDF, but it's not compulsory for you to use a PDF. Yeah, I'm showing them, okay, if I'm putting the logo on the white background, there has to be an image on the back. I'm giving them their style guide. Those of you that don't know what a style guide is, I'm telling them how to use the logo. The rules, style guides are simply rules to using the logo. So I'm telling them that if you want to use this logo when it's white color, then you have to put an image at the back. Then you have to fade it a bit with red. All right, so I'm telling them, I'm giving them a style guide, so you can see that it's very visible. It is very visible. So you can see this one. this is a car. This is a car. They might likely want to do delivery, and that's the think of. So you have to be very smart. You have to be very smart. Look around you. Look around you. Like you can see me playing with their colors. The yellow here, the yellow. This is the image of a food. At this point, this is the image of a food. At this point, then you also have the logo at this side. You have playing with the red colors. You can see that yellow is at this side. So yellow is the secondary color. So you just apply it. You just have to be subtle with the yellow, and you can see it. It is very, 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 very fantastic. Very fantastic. So this is the car mock-up. So I think I have another mock-up, right? I think I have another mock-up. Okay, this is just a signpost too. You can see when the logo is red color, it has to be on a yellow background. Can you notice this is still a style guide? It's still a style guide. If the logo is on, okay, you might say, okay, you must have noticed that some has restaurant and some do not have. Okay, it was a change later made. The client later made that I should add restaurant, but it doesn't matter still. I already knew the form I was going to take. All right, I already took a very good form, so it could fit in. Everything throughout this logo. There's something you should notice about my designs throughout the logos I do is symmetry. I always uphold this word symmetry. It has to be equal. Even me including the restaurant, it is still symmetric. And that is a basic thing you've got to know. All right, so we've come back to the main one, which is the white on black, the main mark. I tell you, this mark is very strong. This mark is very, 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 very strong. It's very strong. And I said I'm not going to waste your time today. So this way I'm going to wrap it up. If you have any question, you can DM me on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe, alright? Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. If you have any question, DM me on Instagram, ask your question, or write on this comment section. You can ask your questions, alright? So share this video, subscribe, like this video. I want to see your comment. I want to see your feedbacks on this beautiful Mac. And if you want to be added on our Telegram group, our design group, you can just notify me. All right, so that's it for now. So goodbye, see you in our next tutorial.